everyone, I have a new story for you today, and I know it's new to you from me because I actually found this in my office at home and I realized I forgot to bring it to school with me this year. So I was never able to share it with you while we were at school because it was sitting at my house this whole year. Can you believe that? This book is totally just for fun. It's all about imagination and beautiful pictures and crazy creatures, and I just think it's a really fun book. It was actually given to me by a close family friend of mine, and they picked it out for me special because it was their child's favorite book, and I thought that was super special, and so I'm really excited that I'm able to share it with you today. The story is called The Mysterious Tadpole. It's by Steven Kellogg, and if I remember correctly, Steven Kellogg also draws all of his own pictures. And so that's why some of his characters look like other characters in his other books. So this is about a very mysterious tadpole. Now, I don't know if you know this, but tadpoles grow up into frogs. So a tadpole is a baby frog. And if this is the mysterious tadpole, it is pretty mysterious because that looks nothing like a frog to me. So let's see what this mysterious tadpole is all about. And I'm going to go ahead and apologize if one of my dogs comes in here because I'm sitting on the floor and they might just pop in. One is behind me right now, so if she decides to get up, I'm sorry. So, The Mysterious Tadpole by Stephen, new illustrations and text by Steven Kellogg. I thought so. Greetings, nephew, cried Lewis's Uncle McAllister. I've brought a wee bit of Scotland for your birthday. Thanks, said Lewis. Look, Mom and Dad, it's a tadpole. Lewis named him Alphonse and promised to take very good care of him. Lewis took Alphonse to school for show and tell. Class, here we have a splendid example of a tadpole, exclaimed Mrs. Sherbert. Let's ask Lewis to bring him back every week so we can watch him become a frog. Everyone thinks that right now. This is a tadpole. Because it even looks like a tadpole. Miss Sherbert was amazed to see how quickly Alphonse grew. Maybe it's because he only eats cheeseburgers, said Lewis. When Alphonse became too big for his jar, Lewis moved him to the kitchen sink. He's the perfect pet, said Lewis. Lewis and Alphonse loved to play games. Be careful, Lewis, said his mother. The living room is not a soccer field. Something is going to get broken. Have you ever known of a frog to get this big? Because I have not. Or of a frog to eat cheeseburgers. And she was right. The same day, the soccer ball slammed into Aunt Tabitha's antique lamp. Antique means very, very old and usually expensive. This tadpole is out of control, said Lewis's mother. Something must be done. It won't happen again, promised Lewis. I'll take Alphonse to obedience school. The only animals at obedience school were dogs. Some of their owners stared at Alphonse very suspiciously. Pretend you're a dog, whispered Lewis. Alphonse tried to bark, but it sounded more like a bird. So he's not a frog. He's definitely not a dog. Hold on a minute, said the trainer. What kind of dog is this? Well, he's a hairless spotted water spaniel from Scotland, explained Lewis. Alphonse quickly learned to sit, stay, and retrieve. He graduated at the top of his class. My parents will be very pleased, said Lewis. But Lewis's parents were not pleased when Alphonse outgrew the sink and had to be moved to the bathtub. The shower is too crowded, complained Lewis's father. This bathroom is a mess, moaned Lewis's mother. Can you imagine your pet being so large he has to be kept in the bathtub? Whew. At least Lewis's classmates enjoyed Alphonse, who was still making weekly visits. Wow, show and tell is more fun than recess, they yelled. But one day Mrs. Shelbert decided that Alphonse was not turning into an ordinary frog. I wonder what gave her that idea. She asked Lewis to stop bringing him to school. By the time summer vacation arrived, Alphonse had outgrown the bathtub, so he's now too big to be in a bathtub. We could buy the parking lot next door and build him a swimming pool, suggested Lewis. Be sensible, declared Lewis's parents. Swimming pools are expensive. We're sorry, Lewis, but this situation has become impossible. Tomorrow you will have to take your tadpole to the zoo. But I can't put my friend in a cage?" cried Louis. What a pickle. That night, Louis was very sad until he remembered that the gym at the nearby high school had a swimming pool. Louis hid Alphonse under a carpet and smuggled him inside. "Nobody uses this place during the summer," whispered Louis, "so you'll be safe here." After making sure that Alphonse felt at home, Louis said, "Goodbye. I'll be back tomorrow with a big pile of cheeseburgers." Louis came every afternoon to play with Alphonse. In the morning, he earned the money for the cheeseburgers by delivering newspapers. The training continued as well. Louis would say, "Alphonse, retrieve," and Alphonse would succeed every time. As summer vacation passed, Louis became more and more worried about what would happen to Alphonse when the high school kids returned, because he's only allowed to be there since nobody's there right now. After his first day of classes, Louis ran to the high school and found the gym bustling with activity. The swim team was heading for the pool. "Stop!" cried Louis. "On your mark!" bellowed the coach. "Get set!" "Excuse me, sir," said Louis. "Go!" roared the coach. Uh-oh. They might go and run into Alphonse. Alphonse rose to the surface to welcome the swimmers. "It's a submarine from another planet!" shrieked the coach. "Call the police! Call the Navy!" "No, no, it's only a tadpole," said Louis. "He's my pet." The coach was very upset and even more confused. "You have until tomorrow," he cried, "to get that creature out of the pool." Louis telephoned his friend Miss Severs, the librarian, and asked for her help. "I will be right there," she said. I imagine a librarian would have a lot of knowledge, and they could really help with this situation. Miss Severs rushed to meet Louis at the high school. When she saw Alphonse, she was so startled that she dropped her purse into the water. "Retrieve," said Louis, and Alphonse did. "Where did this astounding animal come from?" cried Miss Severs. "He was a birthday gift from my uncle," Louis replied. Miss Severs telephoned Uncle McAllister. "Oh, the wee tadpole," he said. "Why, he came from the lake nearby. It's the one folks call Loch Ness." "Brace yourself, Louis," Miss Stevens said. "I believe that your uncle found the Loch Ness monster." "Well, I don't care," cried Louis. "Alphonse is my friend and I love him." He pleaded with Miss Severs to help him raise enough money to buy the parking lot so he could build a big swimming pool for Alphonse. Wow. So they think his uncle found the legendary creature that people believe is hiding in a lake in Scotland. That's crazy. Suddenly, Miss Severs had an idea. "Long ago, a pirate ship sank in the harbor," she said. "No one has ever been able to find it or its treasure chest. But perhaps we can." The next morning, they drove to the harbor and rented a boat. "This is a treasure chest," cried Louis. "Retrieve." Alphonse disappeared under the water. Getting a little nervous. This is him disappearing under the water. And returned with the chest. It was filled with gold and jewels. "Let's play the party and get to work," cried Miss Severs. I'm so happy the librarian is on board. That's awesome. Louis's parents were shocked to see a construction crew in the parking lot. "Louis," they cried, "what in the world is going on here?" Alphonse found a pirate treasure ship. A pirate's treasure. You know what? Miss Summers made a mistake. I'm going to start that sentence over. I got too excited. "Alphonse found a pirate treasure ship," explained Louis. "And we used part of our gold to buy you this present." I got a present. Louis's parents were shocked once again. "Tickets for a vacation cruise to Hawaii?" they gasped. "And," said Louis, "you don't have to worry about us because Granny has agreed to babysit." They hugged Louis and they kissed Alphonse. "How soon can we leave?" they cried. "Immediately," said Louis. This boy has thought of everything. By the time Louis's parents returned, the swimming pool was being enjoyed by everyone in the city. Must have been a long vacation. Whoa, look at that. Everyone is in the pool, including Alphonse. A week later, Louis said, Alphonse, tomorrow's my birthday, which means that you've been my best friend for a whole year. The next day, Uncle McAllister arrived for the party. Greetings, Louis, my lad, he exclaimed. I've come with a curious stone from the hills of Scotland. Happy birthday. Well, thanks, said Louis. Suddenly, the stone began to tremble and crack, kind of like an egg. Oh my word, another pet. The, oh, almost the end, a surprise page. Now he has two pets. The end. Wow. I had never read that book until now. So that's why I got so excited when I was reading it because I couldn't wait to see how it ended. So I hope you enjoyed just that fun read about the mysterious tadpole, which turned out to be the Loch Ness monster. That's insane. I really like that story. That might go in my favorites for next year. So I hope y'all have a really great day. Hope you enjoyed the story, and I hope I get to see you very soon. Bye, everyone.